I'm Patricia Santos, and I am a paper cut artist and watercolor artist from Jackson, Tennessee. Well, I grew up loving art. My middle school, high school art teacher was probably the biggest inspiration for trying different types of art because she really encouraged just not stopping and just always continuing on trying different mediums, which I think fit well with me because I'm a collector of art materials, I guess you could say, like many of us, I guess. For a while, I kind of saw that as a problem because I hopped around a lot to different mediums. But as I've gotten older, I've realized that that really was an advantage because it just opened up my world to different aspects of art and what that really gives you. It gives you different perspectives. If you're painting an apple with acrylics, you're going to look at it differently than if you're painting with watercolor or if you're using cut paper art. Like, it just gives you a whole new perspective. So that really kind of started my art journey. Now, when I first painted with watercolor, I absolutely hated it. And I was in tears and I thought I will never touch watercolor ever again as a high schooler, just because I think the fact of it being so free-flowing was really scary to me because with pencil or acrylics, it was really concrete. It felt like I could fix any problem very easily, and the fact that water just flows through the pigment was like, how do I control this, you know? So I picked up watercolor again later on, I guess in about, maybe it was 2023, somewhere around there. So pretty recently, I picked it back up and I really don't know why. Maybe I just wanted another challenge again. And I loved it. And I was like, I can't believe I actually like this. Like, I hated it so much the first time, which just goes to show, keep your art supplies that you're hoarding because you never know when you're going to use it again. Now that I've played around with the medium more and realized that that free-flowing aspect of watercolor actually has an advantage to it, and there's so many more things that you can accomplish with that you can't with some of the other forms of paint. I think just letting myself have trial and error, you know, I think in high school your mindset's a bit more like, I've got to get it right the first time. And now that I'm older and I'm like, oh, I'm never going to be perfect. It's okay. It's all right to make mistakes and you learn from that. So I think that just kind of opened up watercolor for me again, trying that out. And then cut paper really has been a recent development for me. And that was when I came across the tunnel books. At first I was like, oh, tunnel books are that's like advanced for me. So I didn't try that right off the bat. And those are just tunnel books, if you're not familiar with them, they're just layers of different scenes that were kind of inspired by theatrical sets of the mid-1800s, and that's kind of when they started. And a lot of bookshops and places like that would have these little accordion-style tunnel books that they would be flat, and then you could open it up, and it was just this dimensional piece that would either show like a moment in time. Like one that's really beautiful that I love is the late Queen Elizabeth. They have her coronation, and there's one that's of that. And so you're just put in that moment. So they would use it for traveling. I saw those and decided that I wanted to try and cut watercolor paper and use watercolor with it. Once I started to play with the different layers of watercolor, like layering the watercolor paper, I realized a lot of the cut paper art that I was seeing wasn't watercolor paper, it was other types of paper. And so I was like, well, surely somebody's done this before. So I searched in there and I found a few things here and there, but wasn't quite what I was wanting, what I had envisioned in my mind. But I think later on, since I had searched that, it popped up a museum that had a tunnel book on it. And I looked at that and I was like, well, that looks kind of like watercolor. So I clicked on it and then found the whole history of everything with it. And that kind of just put me in a rabbit hole. And I just went from there. And I think the fact that they use structured paper, which is pretty similar to watercolor paper, that encouraged me to try it, because I thought, oh, okay, like I enjoy watercolor, so this is something I could do that uses something I already enjoy. We have traditional tunnel books, but then you have tunnel books that have little openings and it looks like a wardrobe and you're going into Narnia. Like, it's so cool. It has so many different things, and I think that's what's so amazing about art, is that you can run with, you know, an inspiration from one person, and then you could just do, options are endless.